The all-new QI irons from TaylorMade, designed for straight distance.
Carter, thanks for joining us inside the ropes. It's another beautiful day here in Thunder Bay. Today we're talking golf, where your wife is the general manager here at Fort William Golf Club. Tell me about the game. How is it this year?
It's not too bad, Bri. Honestly, I've been trying to get better at it. You know, a few years retired now from the game, so being out here more with my son. We have a 6-year-old, and my wife manages Fort Country Club, so that's been a great perk. You know, so an excuse, I bring my kids out here and get a whack it around and try to evolve my golf game now that hockey's over.
So moving from the ice onto the golf course, we'll take a look at the game a little bit as we continue on here today. What drew you into the sport of golf?
You know, as a kid, honestly, Bri, I played a lot of baseball as well. And then, you know, I had a local city course right by my house I would go to, and we would just hit balls and play and get out as much as we could. And I think it was a sport that always transitioned with hockey well, too. So then in the summer times when I had some downtime, there was a good group of us, a lot of professional players from Thunder Bay in the NHL. So we'd get games going and try to get out in the summer. And then from there, I think now having some more free time to be able to get out and enjoy the game and try to learn from some of the smarter golfers around me how to play the game now, you know, a little more drive that handicap down.
Are the golf tips the same as the hockey tips, or are we going hand in hand? How does that look?
A little different. You know, I guess maybe as a goalie, it's, you know, very cerebral, right? At times you need to be thinking and doing, you know, the right, you know, moves on the course. Where when I was younger, it was grip and rip it, right? Whereas a lot of hockey players, you know, we want to get out there and we want to go. So for me, I've evolved, I think, as I've matured and the things I've learned, you know, standing over a ball where it's a big putt or a big shot, using some of the skills I learned playing in the NHL, how to control my emotions, coming into hand now in my second career here on the golf course.
You and I right now are between the 9th and 10th holes here at Fort William. So tell us about your golf game.
It's coming together. I'm playing pretty well today. You know what? Times for me, it's driving the ball. I think if I can hit it pretty well off the tee. If I keep it in play and I'm, you know, stepping on my driver a bit, I think it makes the rest of the game easy. And then from there, I think just playing this track a little more and being involved at Fort Country Club, learning the greens a bit. We have a beautiful mountain in the background, and at times it tends to break away from the mountain. So I think having a little inside track on you, I'm trying to give you some advice, but I don't want to give you too much, Brian, because I want to hold the upper hand here.
The greens are fantastic. Superintendent, course crew have done a fantastic job. We're in June here. We got a long way to go, obviously, into the golf season here. It's got to be exciting for everybody at this point of the season to have this facility at their hands.
It is, honestly. Living in Northwestern Ontario, right, you know how it is in Manitoba as well. You know, we have a short window of summer, and this year was off to an early start, and I think even early on it was very green compared to usual. So we've already got in a ton of good golf, and there's more to come. So it's been a great start to the year, and you can see here, obviously, I give my wife a lot of credit here, managing the club, and her superintendent, Jeremy, who runs, you know, the greens. They do a great job of keeping this place in top notch. So we're very fortunate to have a club like this here in Thunder Bay.
We've got a lot of hockey fans, golf fans. You talked about how the two sports kind of intertwine each other. So if Carter Hutton has a dream foursome of former teammates that you've played with over the last number of years, you were over a decade in the National Hockey League, who are some of the really good players that you'd get out and have some rounds with?
Geez, I'd have to go with Jake Allen. You know, he's a good stick. I know he played like on New Brunswick team when he was a kid, and he's just a good buddy too. I know he'd probably be buying the Coors Light for the group.
So you're in the goalie union early.
Yeah, early, and then I'm going to go with the younger guy I played. Well, not that young anymore, Clayton Keller. I played with him a bunch in Arizona. He is an absolute stick. I remember he had a few hole-in-ones during the season, and I was excited for him. He didn't even care because he's had so many. So he's definitely on the squad. And then from there, I don't know, maybe we'll bring in the big Shea Weber, the legend. He could hit it really far off the tee. He was not very good at golf, but if we're playing in a scramble, maybe I could use his drive.
Do you need one more? No, that's your four.
That's my. Well, I was intending on playing as well. So
you're going to play in the group?
Hopefully they let me play.
You're not just managing the group then?
Yeah, not yet. No, I was usually a backup, so it'd be nice to be on the sticks, not just running the cart.
One tip for young goalies / young golfers coming out to a golf course to get involved in the game. You've got a couple of young kids, my guy's into his early teens. What would that be?
I think just having fun, right? Just trying to make it a sport where you want to be at the course, right? I heard Padraig Harrington talking about it last year on the course, just being at the club and, you know, going in for a pop after, or French fries, and making it fun. And that's what I really try to do with my son, even around hockey and around other sports, is I think we need to encourage, sports are so specific now and there's a lot that goes into it. So I think for me, just making the course fun, making this a place where kids want to be and want to grow into it. And then from there, you know, maybe a little lesson here or there, but at the same time, just encouraging them to have fun and play the game.
What's your index sitting at right now?
Right now it's a 5.1, so we'll see if I can keep driving it down here. I'm trying to get, I want to get to par at some point, but we'll see if we can get there. I don't know. I do lots of stuff at home for my wife as well, so that keeps me off the golf course sometimes.
Last but not least, as we look at the PGA Tour, obviously the Canadian Open was just down the highway here last week, actually. Do you have a favorite PGA player? Do you have somebody there you try and model your game after a little bit?
You know, honestly, I used to like Rahm. He's gone now, so we can't touch on him. I love Tommy Fleetwood. I think he plays a simple game, and he hits it. You know, he's not an overly big guy, but he's just smooth. And I think for me, just trying to approach greens and get on greens and work my way in from there is something. But to watch these guys play, it's very humbling. I've been able to go to a few events on the PGA Tour and watch them. So when I think I hit a good golf shot, it doesn't compare to those guys.
Well, you've hit some today. We'll get back out on the golf course here. Thanks for doing this.
Hey, no problem, Brian. Thanks for having me.